Well, good evening, Internet. It's me, DP Knudten, and I am coming to you live from the campus of Nonfiction Brandversity, or what I like to think of as the campus, which is actually my office here at home. And I'm here for another edition of BOOKWARD BOUND, my 301-day journey from I should really do this to done, which is all about the creation of a brand new book by January 1st, 2021. And how am I going to get that book done? Well, I'm going to come down here for 301 consecutive days, and I'm going to do something that moves the book forward in a meaningful way. So some nights I'm writing, some nights I'm editing, some nights I'm designing, some nights I'm outlining and mind mapping new sections of the book, or just figuring out how I want to proceed at any given stage of the book's process. Right now, I think what I'm going to be doing is working on a specific section of the book that I was working on last night as well. And it's all about Neal Schaffer. Now, Neal Schaffer's a friend of mine, but he's a very, very cool guy as well. And I'm writing about him in this application right here called Scrivener, which is a great way to write a book. You know, you write the book in this window here, and then you've got all the various chapters and sections of the book right here. And I color-coded everything so that you can see over here, the green ones, they're all done. They've been first pass edited and proofread and all that stuff. The blue ones are, I think it's pretty much written, but it has not been completely edited or proofread. And then you got the red ones, the yellow ones too. The yellow ones have been started, but the red ones are the scariest. Why? That's why. I've got an idea of what I want to write about, and I haven't written anything as yet. So yeah, that can be kind of painful. However, as a matter of fact, I should actually update Neal's, because he gets to earn the yellow flag at least of, hey dude, you've at least started this. So last night I was working on this about Neal Schaffer and his challenge, or what he realized was his huge challenge, and that is creating a personal brand that enables him to do any number of branded projects, which of course, he's all over the place on. So I'm going to read this first, this paragraph aloud just to get myself back into the flow of stuff. Neal had a big problem. Can you see it? Windmill marketing, maximize your social, PDCA social. Neal Schaffer, international marketing thought leader and speaker. That's a whole lot of branding going on, all of which began and revolved around him, but named for something else. I don't like that. That's a whole lot of brands, comma, only one of which all revolving around him. All of which began and revolve around him, and only one of them is named after himself. So what's it got to do? First comma, understand the most important thing about personal branding. First, understand the most important thing about personal branding, that a personal brand can do anything once people are primed to understand, respect, prefer, and engage. Let's get rid of refer. Engage with that personal brand. Neal and I talked about this very thing on when he was a guest on the NONFICTION Brand podcast. He's I think I said started out like many entrepreneurs with the idea that he needed to create an entity or a company with its own name and branding in order to do business. But then things started happening that began to create a confusing morass of potentially conflicting brand names. Well, hello to you, Underdog 695 and Sig Lord. Oh, it's frozen, is it? Dang it. I'm not sure. Okay, hold on a second. Let me see what's going on. It's not frozen on my end, but it certainly is potentially. No, it's going on Restream. Yeah, so I hope there you go. Oh, I know what's going on. Sorry, guys, I had it on the wrong screen. Thank you for giving me that intel, but you can see what I'm doing right now. Okay, I'm writing a book, right? And I welcome your questions or your conversation, whatever you'd like, because anyone who's ever written a book understands a couple of things. One, you need a little inspiration to get it going, but two, it's always helpful to have a little bit of conversation or a little bit of new stuff coming in. See you later, Underdog. Sorry, but bye. Anyway, moving on. But then things started happening that began to create a confusing morass of potentially conflicting brand identities. All of the above mentioned things were based in and around Neal. But the sheer number of brands associations were confusing to some, confounding to others, and certainly not in the best interest of the personal brand named Neal Schaffer. Neal. The man has many interests. Neal, the brand, does too. All right, hold on. As we talk, I need to find that pull quote. A pull quote from the Neal Schaffer Nonfiction Brand podcast pull quote. I know there are several from that podcast episode. Pull quote. I'm going to have to listen to those, though. So when I say that there are pull quotes in holy great googly moogly. Yeah. I thought things were messed up a little bit. When I say I'm looking for a pull quote from the Nonfiction Brand podcast, it's because I am. I have to listen back to the episodes. Neal's been in a couple of episodes of the Nonfiction Brand podcast, and we talked about a lot of stuff. So what I want to do is listen back to some of the old podcasts and find an extended segment where he talks about this very thing to get his own words and bring them into the book, because I think there's power in that, both for him and for myself, because obviously I want to help him grow his personal brand, his awareness, get recognition for his thought leadership and other things. And I also wouldn't mind adding a little bit of his mojo, or folding some of his mojo into my book. So that's one of the techniques I'm using for this thing. So I think what I have to do is listen through those 2 episodes and find those pull quotes. So I guess before I go any further, I got some podcast listening to do, which is, that's okay. I don't want to bore you right now with me going, oh, no, just listening. So instead, what I'm going to do is make note of the fact that I need to find those pull quotes, but also go back here and look at stuff. So building the big dog. I'm going to have to do that without his help. Stephanie Lewis in. Paul Ramondo's in. Oh, I should put Bea in here. Bea, Paul, Bokor. What do I want to say about her? She's taken her personal brand from Hungary to New Zealand. A global personal brand. How about that? Something like that. Good enough for now. Truly global. I can do that. All right, I need to give her a different colored, sorry about that. Need to give her a different colored flag. Red for, hey dude, you haven't written anything in here yet. That's cool. All right, I do want to do this too. I'm going to compile. Okay, so in Scrivener, if you want to, when you're done with your book, you have to compile it. So I'm going to go ahead and compile this book as a 6x9 paperback because it will automatically format everything to fit that format. And I haven't written everything, so there's certainly a number of pages missing. But hold on, I'm compiling. Let's go to D. This is 8/4/2020. Go to desktop. That's where I'm going to compile it to. And so this is going to look through the whole book and create a PDF because I just want to see how many pages that this book should be, or this book is right now, because with the number of words, right around 40,000 words that I've done so far, if you divide 40,000 by 300, you know, figuring 300 words a page, which is about right for a 6x9 book. So that's, say, 40,000 divided by 300 equals 133 pages. So this is telling me it should be about 133 pages, but I think my compiled PDF is going to be significantly different because it takes into account things like margins, total width of each page, leaving room for the gutter or the actual binding join where pages come together, because you have to have slightly bigger margins or tighter margins or wider margins in those use cases. And it will tell me in a little bit. Ooh, I should add back matter too, because that'll add from back matter. Oh, we'll have to look at this because it's working through it. It's doing its cogitation right now of 40,000 plus words. And before I can do that, so anyhow, all right, hold on, here we go. And you can see it's still doing its little work over here as it compiles, because I guess it's taken a while to go through this bad boy. Oh, and of course, it gets stalled here for a sec. Okay, good. So now this PDF. Okay, so here's the PDF. Or actually, it's saved as a Word doc, which is fine. So how many pages is it? It's going to be more than 59, I know that much. $212. And a bunch of these pages. Forward. Why are they showing up in the back? That's odd. So obviously there's a ton of cleanup that needs to be done. yeah, a ton of cleanup. But I've already done a lot of work on this thing. 212 pages. Jeez. I was hoping for a book that was about 250 pages. So obviously some of these, like, take a look. This let me get to that J Bear page. That's way too big. But yeah, there's a ton of resizing that needs to be done once it's in Word. But still, 212, 210 pages now because I did that little resize. I'm kind of impressed. Because, oh, geez, I want it to be 250, almost 250 tops. Good old J Bear. Boop. Size and position. Height, width 100. Is this coming out as 11-point type? Yeah, it is. All right, so bottom line is 208 pages now. So resizing is going to take it back down. But yeah, my book is a lot farther along than I kind of expected. Come on, baby. There we go. And that's good. So I am feeling good about that. Yay. So, tonight, what did I learn tonight? That I have to listen to the Neal Schaffer episodes to find pull quotes from that. So I'll do that tomorrow. Which means that I don't have anything more to do tonight. And that's okay, because I don't have to. Because my book is well on its way, as you can tell, because my hopefully 250-page book is at 200 and some pages right now. Going to 250 is not going to be a problem. Keeping it under 300 might be. I definitely don't want a 300-page book. But we'll see, because it's going really well. And a lot of that's due to you, because you're helping me out simply by putting the peer pressure on me to come down here every single night and work on the book. So thank you very much for that. I'm DP Knudten for the Nonfiction Brand podcast, which comes out new episodes every single Monday. So check out this past Monday's, or what, today's Tuesday. So yesterday's episode that premiered is the second half of a conversation with a copywriter and copy editor expert from Gloucester, England, named Sarah Townsend. Really love that conversation. Check out both of them, episodes 101 and 102 of the Nonfiction Brand podcast, wherever you get your fine podcasts for free. Just search Nonfiction Brand, and you're going to be able to find it. And until that, well, basically I'm done for tonight, so I'm going to say goodnight. But before I go, I would like to invite theme music to take us on out. I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.